Hi, this is Lou Gaddis, Clinical Professor of Finance and the Finance Major's Faculty Advising Coordinator. Congratulations and welcome to the Finance Major. In this brief video, I want to talk about advice I want to give you as a new finance major. I want to talk about careers in finance, the keys to success, finance curriculum recommendations, in other words, what courses to take both in and out of finance, and provide a checklist at the end to make sure you'll be successful. So when I talk about careers in finance, I like to think about three different areas: consumer finance, investment management, and corporate finance. In consumer finance, you're helping ordinary people solve ordinary problems, like how to borrow, how to save, and how to invest. So you might be in consumer banking at a retail bank, helping people open savings account, getting loans, getting ATM cards and credit cards. You might be at a mortgage company, helping people get a home loan. You could be a financial planner where you actually help people put a plan together on how much to save and where to put their money. You could be a broker. You could be at a credit card company specifically and help design products and track customer. And you could be at an insurance company. So all these areas are in consumer finance. You could be a starting position, could be a financial analyst. You could be in sales, could be a credit or loan officer at a bank, a stockbroker, or being in a management program for any of these financial institutions. Now, investment management, I think of as either portfolio management or trading. So you could be at a mutual fund, a pension fund, a hedge fund, a private wealth management company, or private equity fund. And firms like this might be Fidelity, Legg Mason, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, and so on. In this area, you could be in, say, the sell side or the buy side of one of these banks. On the sell side, you might have investment banking and other services. On the buy side, you'll have the portfolio managers and investors and traders. On the buy side, it's usually divided between the front office, the middle office, and the back office. So if we think of an org chart for one of these banks, the front office will be the sales, the traders, and the portfolio managers. The back office will provide support for those areas. And the middle office, which doesn't typically take new hires from undergraduate programs, will provide, say, support for the front office or risk management and reporting. In corporate finance, you're helping corporations borrow, invest, just like consumers, and also help manage their investments and do reporting. Now, all corporations need corporate finance professionals. They need people to help them borrow money when they need to raise capital to, say, launch a new business or open a new factory. They need help in deciding which projects to undertake, what investments to undertake. And then once they have this portfolio of projects and investments and products, they need someone just to manage the financing or the financial aspects of the project. You know, what is the budget? What were last year's actual expenses? What are the forecasts for projects, for the project profitability for the next 5 years? So all corporations need corporate finance analysts. You could also be in consulting, helping corporate finance with these roles. You could be in commercial banking, helping corporations raise money through loans. You could also be in investment banking. In an investment bank, you help corporations, sort of like consulting, provide services to them to help them to solve these problems. Also, investment bankings will also get heavily involved in helping the organization to, say, raise capital, issue new stock, issue new bonds, or maybe help them acquire another firm. Now, in corporate finance, we have a lot of recruiters come here, including Johnson & Johnson, IBM, and so on. And the positions include, say, financial analysts, project managers, project analysts, consultants, and also leadership programs that try to train talented corporate finance professionals, usually in a 2 to 3 year program, and help them place them in the corporation. Now, how do you know what career might be right for you? Well, you don't really need to decide now, but a career in consumer finance may be interesting to you if you like sales, customer interaction, and investments. Because to be successful in this area, you need to attract customers, have more customers trust you and get loans or deposit money in your bank. You're going to be dealing with people every day and in dealing a lot with investments. A career in investment management or investment banking, we'll call that Wall Street for now, may be right for you if you like investing, economics, accounting, a competitive and fast-paced environment, and potentially high rewards. However, you have to be careful, even though this is the area a lot of people think of as finance. This is very cyclical, and recruiters are very selective at the top firms for hiring in this area. A career in corporate finance might be right for you if you like problem solving, working in a team, a little more work-life balance than Wall Street, and you don't mind accounting too much because you'll be dealing with a lot of financial statements. Now let's talk about some keys to success. Number one, you need to take the right classes and excel in the classroom. That means get good grades and also learn. We're going to talk later on one of the last few slides about what classes I recommend. You also need to get involved. Recruiters want a student that did well in the classroom, but it's also very active on campus. So that might be engaging in a study abroad trip, involvement in PSU university student orgs, or some business organizations and experiences that Smeal offers. For example, our Penn State Investment Association or the Nittany Fund. We'll talk more about those. And the most important thing you need to do by the time you're a junior summer, the one between junior and senior year, is get an internship. And how you're going to do that is you're going to utilize Smeal's Career and Corporate Connections office. And we'll talk more about that. So one thing you could do is internationalize your education. There are a lot of surveys that say employers really value students with international experiences. Usually business students go abroad during sophomore or junior year, either during one of the semesters or in the summer. You can actually do it as early as your summer after your freshman year. However, I do not recommend study abroad in the summer between your junior and senior year. That is really the prime time to get an internship. And study abroads can count towards an international business two-piece. We'll talk more about those. That's an area which every major has to select another area to take 2 more courses. So it could count towards that degree requirement. Or you can go even further and get an international business minor. Now, if you're interested in a student abroad or study abroad, you should go to this website. It's a Smeal website for international programs. You should look for study abroad info nights, which are usually in late August or September. You should look for the Penn State Education Study Abroad Fair. That's going to be in October. And you have to also be aware that there are application deadlines. If you want to go away this spring for the spring semester, typically that's an early September deadline. If you're interested in next fall, typically that's an early March deadline. And if you're interested in next summer, typically that's an early February deadline. Now, how do I get involved? What I've already said is employers do value employees, potential employees or students that get involved. They're not just people that are getting good grades, they, even though that's important, but they want students that are involved with the community. Now, if you're looking for a student organization or a club, one great place to go is this Smeal website. It's the student organization section of the Smeal website. And if you go there, you could click on a printable list of all Smeal student organizations. Or you can click on student organizations by major, or just general interest organizations, business fraternities, diversity organizations, and so on. So this is a great place to start. Or you can go to the student organization directory and look at the whole university and see what's available. So bottom line is, in your sophomore or freshman, sophomore, junior years, you should be involved with at least 2, maybe 3 student organizations. Another experience that Smeal offers is a Wall Street boot camp. So for those of you interested in that career I talked about in investment management or in investment banking, you could apply for the Wall Street boot camp, which is really just a Wall Street focused BA 97A course. It meets weekly in the trading room. They have speakers that talk about careers in Wall Street and do's and don'ts in the recruiting process. However, it's highly competitive, only 40 seats for approximately 300 applicants. And the application window for spring opens in about late October, so watch the business building monitors for information. Another great opportunity open to all students is the Penn State Investment Association. It's a student organization dedicated to investment management. It is run by the Nittany Line Fund. We'll talk about that in a minute. And it's a great opportunity to network with other students and learn about investment management and valuation. You can also watch the business building monitors for meeting announcements for the Penn State Investment Association, or PSIA. Now, PSIA is run by the Nittany Line Fund. The Nittany Line Fund is a student-run hedge fund that invests about $7 million in U.S. equities. It provides training in valuation, financial market, and Excel modeling. And if you want to go to Wall Street, this is one of your best chances to get there. They have about 100% placement on Wall Street over the last several years. It's based out of the trading room, which is a great place to learn. If you're interested in a Nittany Line Fund, what you do is start off with the Penn State Investment Association, and you'll learn more about opportunities for the Nittany Line Fund. Now, the most important thing you should be looking at as far as getting a full-time job is first getting an internship. About half the students that get full-time jobs get them through their internship. So how do you get an internship? First of all, make sure you've taken BA 297A, which is the Career Planning and Strategies course. Also visit Smeal's Career and Corporate Connections office. That's on the first floor across from the trading room in the business building. You can just walk in there and tell them you're interested in getting an internship. You can get some literature there. You also need to sign up for Smeal Connect, which is the website or system that connects students with internship employers. You want to attend the career development events and career fairs. Now, how do you find them? You're going to go to the Career Connections website at careerconnections.smeal.psu.edu. Now, this is a great website. If you click on that, you can get some latest news, jobs, and resources, and internship information about clubs and employers. And also, the most important thing right here for you right now is you want to join Smeal Connect. Or, if you're just interested and you don't know where to start, schedule an appointment. And once you get your internship, make sure you report it. Now, once you've completed an internship and you start going for recruiting for a full-time job, you'll no longer use Smeal's Career Connections. You're going to go to Penn State's Career Services. So if you want to see what that's about, you can go to the Career Services website and learn more about full-time job recruitment. Now, here's a checklist I want to give you, and I also talk about the curriculum offered in the finance major. Now, as a finance major, once you've taken all the entrance to major, that's your Finance 301 and accounting and all those courses, you're going to be required to take 3 finance courses. That is Finance 408, Finance 406, and Finance 305W. Finance 305W is a kind of an intro to corporate finance course. Finance 406 is an investment management course. Talk about how to value equities and bonds and foreign portfolios. And 408 is really a capital markets class, but it'll also give you an idea of what those organizations are and institutions are out there that help ordinary consumers. Now, once you've taken these 3 courses, you need to also take at least 2 electives in finance. These include Finance 405, which is an advanced corporate finance class, Finance 407, which is multinational finance, which is primarily a corporate finance with an international focus, but it usually has a little bit of a investments focus also. In the spring, there's a Finance 415, which is a modeling class. This is a class I teach. There's only 3 sections available each spring. In that class, we focus mostly on investments, but a little bit of corporate, and we spend a lot of time learning Excel. If there's one thing you should do before you get an internship, or one thing you need to talk about to recruiters when you're trying to get an internship, you need to be able to say truthfully that you're proficient in Excel. Now you can go to there's a lot of different ways to become proficient in Excel. There's a lot of internet resources. You can Google those. I know Penn State has some resources where you can take some free training, I think through Linda. And so you should really become proficient in Excel to get that internship and do well at the internship. Finance 410 is a derivatives class. So you talk about option contracts, puts and calls, forward contracts, futures, swaps, with mainly an investment focus, but a little bit of corporate. You can talk about how these derivatives are used to reduce risk as corporate finance. In the fall, there's Finance 414, which is a trading class. So you meet in the trading room. Actually, 415 and 414 both meet in the trading room. 415 builds modeling skills. 414 is more applied, so you try to look for opportunities in the market and talk about how to exploit them. And you also take some real estate classes if you're in that area. So what you need to do is once you've taken your 408, 406, and 305, you'll take at least 2 of these courses. Now, if you're not sure what to take, what I generally recommend is every student try to take, say, 405 and 407. These are corporate finance classes, and I think they're nice and broad and allow you to explore a lot of different areas. I think these 410 and 414 are a little investment focused. That's also if you know that's where you're going. And 415 is also a great class, a little investments focused, but a little bit of corporate finance, and also just builds modeling skills in Excel in addition to some programming skills. Now, once you've taken these 3 courses and you've planned on what 2 finance electives you want to take, you're also going to need to select another area outside of finance to take at least 2 courses in. So you could take 2 extra courses in accounting or econ or entrepreneurship or insurance or international business. I recommend for every finance major, take more accounting. Penn State's Smeal business only requires 1 accounting class. Most other schools that I've looked at require at least 2, if not 3 at a minimum. So for you to be competitive with students from other schools, you need to take at least 1 or 2 more accounting classes. So I highly recommend you take accounting as your 2-piece area. In other words, that other major to take 2 extra classes. If not, you have to at least take 1 extra accounting class. So as a major in finance, you have to take those 3 courses. You take your 2 electives. Then you choose a 2-piece for an area. Then you also have to pick a 3rd area to take 1 class. So you have to at least use accounting as your 1-piece, but I do highly recommend accounting as your 2-piece. I highly recommend it over econ. When I talk to recruiters, without fail, every recruiter I talk to, I said, what advice do you want me to give students about the curriculum? And they say that your students need to take more accounting. So I don't think I can send that message any heavier that you should take accounting as your 2-piece or your 1-piece. Another piece of advice on your electives. 1, just choose things you're really interested in. Another thing you could do is maybe take 1 more of these finance classes as a general elective. Another checklist. What you have to do is get an internship by your junior year. You should be really focused on getting an internship on the summer between your junior and senior year. Now, a few students do get an internship between sophomore and junior year. That is not required. All right, that's not expected. But you need to get it by your junior summer. That is one of the primary ways that recruiters find full-time students is looking at their junior class internships. And it would be great if you can afford it and build it into your curriculum, a study abroad experience. Just talking about finance skills, I would try to become proficient in Excel, either by taking some online free courses or training offered at Penn State. Another thing you can do is do trading competitions. Watch the monitors in the business building about trading competitions. They're a lot of fun. There's also corporations offer case competitions. So Johnson & Johnson might come and have a case about a new drug they issued a few years ago, and in that case there are some decisions to make, and students form teams and present to the J&J faculty or J&J staff. So it's a great opportunity. One, in your presenting skills, that's really important to be able to present and using PowerPoint and doing financial analysis. It also exposes you to recruiters. Now let's talk about involvement. You need to get involved with, let's say, at least 2, if not 3 organizations. Now that could be through Thon, right, Dance Marathon. That could be through a fraternity. But I'm also want to focus you on business-related organizations, PSIA, Wall Street Boot Camp, Nittany Lion Fund, and so on. And then all the business fraternities. All right, so you should be involved with 2 or 3 of these organizations. And then here's a really important message I want to give you. As you're a freshman and sophomore, you're going to explore all these different organizations. But by the time you're a junior, and a senior especially, what you're going to look for is leadership opportunities. Because I've talked to a lot of employers, and I say, what are you looking for? They say, I have good grades, you're involved, get an internship. But what I really want to see, what makes a student stand out, is leadership. Now, all these organizations, these dozens or hundreds of organizations across Penn State, there are opportunities to be a leader. Now, you don't have to be the president or the vice president of this organization. You could just use it as an opportunity to become a leader in maybe even just an event. You're at a meeting and someone's looking for a volunteer to run some event next week. Maybe recruiters coming, and you have to get the word out to the membership and arrange some food and talk, work with the recruiter and the visit and all that kind of stuff. So they're looking for a leader, and what you can do, you can step up, all right, or you can take one of the offices or in the organization. And when I talk to a lot of recruiters, what they say is if the best way I can see if this person is a good person and a leader are the people that know them the best, right? The people in these clubs and these student orgs, have they chosen this person to be a leader? Or has this person stepped up? Because that's the kind of person I want in my organization. So by the time you're a junior or senior, you use these organizations to get leadership experience, whether it's in Dance Marathon or a business fraternity or the PSIA or just any other club. If you can have a leadership position and say that you had a budget, you motivated people, right? You were responsible, you kept a schedule. All right, those are important things that you want to talk about during your interviews. And one of the last things I want to leave you with is just more short-sighted here, or short-term, is in September or October, what I really want to see you do is attend a resume workshop. If you haven't really had someone look at your resume, go to an interview workshop. A lot of corporations come and do mock interviews. That's a great opportunity to get feedback. Maybe there's something you do when you interview. Maybe you come in and you're so nervous that you just don't smile and you come off as kind of angry or something. What a great thing they'll do is they'll actually record a mock interview, go back over it. Maybe there's something annoying you do. Well, you can always find out during this. Also, in September and October, there's going to be career fairs. Some are in the Smeal building. Especially like the supply chain one. We don't have actually a finance one in the business building. All right, so what you'll have to do is go to the university-wide one. But you have to be careful. The university career fair, there's a day specifically for business and specifically for internship versus full-time. And the last thing I want to encourage you to do is just network. When these corporations come to campus, go there, get the free pizza, listen to the presentation, learn a little bit. Maybe get a business card, talk to a few people. If your family has friends in the finance industry, talk to them, tell them about your dreams, what you want to do. So your goal, and when you're traveling or wherever you are, just talk to people about, where you're at Smeal and finance and what you want to do, and start collecting names, collecting business cards, collecting contact information, using LinkedIn. All right, those could become important. All right, so I'd like to thank you for the time watching this video, and hopefully it was helpful. and good luck.